I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to the festival season, and yet I still love the idea of decorating. So this video is for all of those Grinches out there that want cheap and very easy ways to get into the holiday spirit without looking too Whovian-like. Let's get into it. So a big trend this year is bows, and I'm not sure as to which god decided it was bows this year, but I do love how cheap and easy this one is because we've all got a little bit of ribbon hanging around somewhere in our little craft drawer that we forget about that we can easily just implement into our space and get into that festive spirit. We can obviously put it onto our Christmas trees, we can tie our art pieces up in it, we can go ahead and tie it onto our cushions if we want, we can tie it to our candles. Anywhere there is a surface you can pretty much put a bow. Obviously going with those deep reds and greens will be the more classical styles, even the metallics will also implement that. But if you're a bit more of a fun, outgoing person that wants to be a bit more playful with their color scheme, you can literally use any color bow. I will say though, there is a caveat to this. Some big creators have been doing giant bows on their Christmas trees or out front of their homes, and personally, this is super tacky, so stay clear from it. It's too hard to do anyway. Don't do giant bows because it looks like you just went ahead and bought a new car. My next tip is to use a non-traditional tree. Obviously, we are very used to the traditional pine tree that we always see, but if you're a Grinch like myself, you're probably thinking, where in the world am I going to put this in a small apartment like mine, let alone where am I going to store it for the rest of the year if it is not an actual tree? So instead, if you have indoor plants, decorate those instead. You can use baubles, you can use tinsel, you can use whatever your heart desires, and you can actually give your indoor plant friends a little bit more of a makeover instead of wasting all your time and all your money on this big festive tree that you don't know where you're going to put anyway, and it's always in the way in a small space like this. So go with something that's a little bit non-traditional. If you don't have any indoor plants, an alternative is you can get yourself a vase, get yourself some sticks from outside, and then make this very artistic looking ball stick arrangement. It can actually look quite nice, surprisingly, but it is something different to do where you don't have to have all of this setup time. Like, what Grinch doesn't want that? This next tip is also very on trend, and it is using sticks of berries. Now, if you're Australian like myself, you probably don't really use this very much, but I know you Americans out there definitely do. But there are 3 reasons as to why I really like this trend. Number 1, it's not super ostentatious. It just adds a little pop of red anywhere in your home, and you can pretty much place it anywhere you want as well. You can put it in a vase, you can put it on your coffee table as decoration, your mantelpiece, wherever you like, berries can go there. It's a really easy piece to just implement in and have that little pop of red without it being over the top, ostentatious and crazy looking. And number 3, it is easy to store, especially with those faux berries. You can put it into a box and you don't have to think about it for the rest of the year. And yet when you pull it out next year, it's going to be really easy to just place and then you're done. This next tip I love so much because it is so transitional. You can actually transition it back into your normal style rather than only having it out for a set time throughout the year. And that is brass candlesticks. Now, of course, you need to also have candles as well, but having this elevates your look. It makes it look like it's a cozy space that you want to be in. And if you pair it with other things I've mentioned in this video, chef's kiss, looks amazing. Looks like you actually care about the festivities more than you actually do. And it just elevates this look to make it feel classy without it feeling super tacky or over the top and dramatic. Garlands are another easy to use decorating piece that definitely gets everybody into the festive spirit, even if you're a Grinch. And honestly, I like this one as well because it is easy to use. You can use it in multiple different areas. Of course, the most common one is to put it up on the mantle. There are also plenty of videos of people doing it in entryways or hallways or narrow spaces. You can go ahead and put it on a dresser if you like. You can go ahead and put it as the center of your dining table as a little decorative piece. And if you're Australian like myself and want to be a little different and maybe not so on the nose, you can definitely add eucalyptus garlands instead of just the typical pine garlands. My final tip today is another one that is transitional and you can use it any time of the year, which is why I love it, and that is fairy lights. Fairy lights are great at making a space feel magical, especially at night, and you can go ahead and place it anywhere again. You can put it on the ceiling, you put it on your Christmas tree, you can put it on your dog if for all I care. But it will make the space feel just a little bit warmer, especially at night, and it will make it feel a little bit more inviting. The great thing about fairy lights is you can have it up all year round and it doesn't feel like you're just straight chugging Christmas, but it does give that magical, ethereal element, especially at night when you're wanting the space to feel a little bit cozier. And even if you don't put up very many festive pieces, having fairy lights just makes the space feel a little bit more welcoming, especially in these cooler months for you Americans. So those are my Grinchy tips for you. If you have any of your own Christmas decorating tips for Grinches out there, make sure you leave them in the comments below. I know I get super overwhelmed with all of these festive ideas, and I honestly just think, what is the point? I cannot be bothered putting this much effort into the Christmas holidays, but I do hope that these tips has helped you guys think of some really simple and easy things to do that don't actually require that much effort. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I'll see you on our next design adventure.